Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Let's get into it, good people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There it is. The notification goes out to the people. Power to the people. No delay. Now, here we are. Back in the thick of things. So let's get this into perspective. What's up, Chris Hill? I see you. Now, we're here to talk about textbook manipulation. Manipulation. Oh. Textbook manipulation 101. Yeah, I saw the Warriors game. I saw how the Phoenix Suns got jobbed. They got jobbed. Oh, buddy boy, did I not see that coming. Well, they owe Steph Curry. After they screwed him against LeBron, they're going to be like, yeah, we need you to just lose to LeBron tonight. Well, be prepared. I don't know what you're going to do at this major premium network, but the only thing I can tell you is be prepared. Ask questions. And don't make sure it's not what time is lunch or when do we get paid. Ask questions about the job that pertains to what you have to do. Those are key. Now, here we are. Let's talk about textbook manipulation. There are constant people that are manipulated in this system. They're manipulated in so many different ways. But manipulation is just another form of control. In order to get control, you have to break people down into steps. And when you try to shortcut steps, it don't work. Most people do these things automatically. It just comes to them second nature because it's a born gift for them to manipulate people. It's like if they had a choice in life what to do, and it's like be straight up with somebody or manipulation, they'd be, manipulation. Sign me right up for that. Manipulation. Sounds like fun. Well, here's the key. The first way into manipulation, and normally it's the best thing, flattery, compliments, admiration. That's the introduction to the manipulation. They take the route and disguise themselves as everyone else who's genuine. So they would come in with flattery, gifts, or a smile, or a kind gesture to look like something that they're not. It's like wearing a mask, right? You don't see their moves because their moves look like anybody else that cared. That's how the manipulation first starts. Now, as they get further and further into your trust, that's when the classic manipulation starts, the massaging of things. And then they start to go towards a thing that we call isolation. They want to isolate you from your friends, your family, your job. They want you all to themselves. Doesn't even have to be a relationship. What's up, Mark? It doesn't even have to be a relationship. Not at all. They don't have to date you to isolate you. You could be friends. They just want to isolate you. They want to isolate your time to where they're the most important thing in your life. They're manipulating your time. So now, once you have that, you're starting, it's like a python starting to make that grip around the body. That's what that is. Now, they have to break you. And when I mean break you, a lot of people think it's physical. Manipulation is never physical. It's everything but that. Manipulation now is that they got you isolated. You know, the mask is off. They got you isolated. Now it's time to break your spirit. So they go into this spirit breaking mode where they're devaluing you. They put you down. They find out, they know a lot about you and they study you. So they know at this point all your insecurities. So they know how to play on those to keep you right there in the box. Whenever you start getting some spirit or energy enough to get away from the manipulator finds a way to pull you back in, bring you back to your lowest point. They try guilt. Guilt is a good thing. I was there for you when you were sick, and you ain't had nothing. You did this and that, and all this and that, and this and this. And who's gonna do this for you? And you did that, and who gonna get your medication and all that? But I see you right now, and you getting all fat, and look at you. You're big, you're overweight, and you ain't losing no weight and all that, and you look ridiculous in this. Now you're out here looking bad, and I'm still staying with you. I need to be examining my head for still being with you. You know, just all these different things. Then they run the guilt trip on friends, anything. Man, you ain't never been a real friend. You only a friend when somebody got something, you know. They run the guilt trip. They play the victim and make you the bad guy. They're not the bad guy. Oh no. The bad person is you. They're making you seem crazy. And then they make everyone else around you believe it. They'll be like, well, you know how she is. Because they run it manipulation by extension, which means that they are not just running a manipulation on you, they're manipulating everyone around you. They'll make it look like the isolation is your idea. They'll make it look like she don't want to really be around y'all. That's her, not me. She making the decision. If she want to come over here, she can come over here. That's her. Now they start spreading the manipulation around, spreading around the guilt and the lies. And now everybody is starting to see the way you're reacting to this. And they go, yeah, she is kind of crazy. She does need help. Anytime you say anything against it, oh my gosh, she does sound crazy. You're right. The manipulator be like, yeah, I told you. Not knowing that person, the manipulator, is the problem. This is textbook. Most manipulators are narcissists, weak men, weak women, weak people who would actually come in and attempt to do this because there's something missing in their life that don't make them whole. So therefore they see it in you and they think that they have to have it and absorb it in order for them to feel you know powerful and you are inferior to them. They have to make you feel inferior. That gives them strength. Without it, they feel empty. They need to have that control back. So without having that control back, you put people in a very difficult state. And when they're in a difficult state, they don't know how to respond. They don't know how to react. They just do things. And the longer they keep that up, the worse the behavior is. The behavior is the problem. It starts to become at the center core of everything that moves is the behavior. And once that behavior is altered in any kind of way, you're starting to see the realism and the pain of the job. This is where the core pain is. And there's the last stage of manipulation, and that is the threat of violence. When nothing seems like it's going their way and the will is not being met or broken and she still got fight or he still has fight in him, the threat of violence speeds up the process past the guilt. When the guilt trip isn't working, the threat of the violence is the last stage of manipulation before it becomes either violent, and that's way past manipulation. Now, when you threaten the violence, you normally do an act. You punch a wall, take a knife, stab it into something. The threat is almost more deadlier than the actual act itself because it's psychological. And you take that with you everywhere you go. You take that fear that the threat of violence does, and you carry it with you into your whole life, and you're never able to recover. Well, the main problem people are going to have, and when it comes to believing things, is the fact that there are others that see it the way it is, and then there's others who don't care if they see it the way it is. Uh, I think the way the scales are, the way everything has been put together, there's just no way for a manipulator to be able to find their footing in the game because they don't have any sincerity. It's all about an insecurity and it's all about wanting someone to be their mama or somebody to be their daddy. Women are manipulators too. It isn't just a manpower, so it's a whole thing of control. Now, not everybody who manipulates go to the violent route. They don't need to. Some just come straight out and start manipulating right from the beginning. They don't waste any time. They come straight out manipulating from the jump. And it's everybody else's job to find their way through the navigation. Now, what we've seen countless people do, Dr. Cena. No, what we've seen countless people do is wallow and stew in the manipulation. Some people buy into the manipulation. They'll turn against their own friends. I've already told you a textbook manipulator and what this textbook manipulator did. This guy was dating a woman and tried to hit on her best friend. When she was drunk at a party, his girl is distracted. They right at the same party. He goes in the room and tried to hit on her. And this is her best friend. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Come on, yeah, I know you want it." And she's like, "No, I don't. You with my friend." And so she went and told her friend. But before she could tell her friend, he went back as the classic manipulator and told her, said, "I didn't want to tell you this, but your girl tried to get up with me." He flipped it because he knew that she was going to end up telling his girl. So he had to flip it and said she tried to come on to him. So when her friend told her, she was like, "He already told me you tried to get up with him." And she's so whipped into the manipulation because she thinks, well, she in her mind, she's in love, but she's not paying attention to the signs. He isn't. And that's the key here. He's not in love, but he knows she is. She loves that guy to death. So she turns on her own best friend and said, "My friend tried to get up with my man." Her own best friend. And she starts spreading the manipulation around. And those two best friends had separated and never was friends again. And to this day, she's still not with that guy. He gave her 2 babies and ended up smoking crack and started doing heroin and started going out, hanging out with a chick that was 20 years older than him. And they all was living like crackheads in a house. So he was a manipulator. And that woman would have done anything in the world for him. And she went above and beyond. She went and pulled him out of crack houses and still wanted him to come move into the house. And she'll take care of him. But he didn't want that. The drug was too much. And he knows if he's in that house, he ain't going to be able to use. So he got to be out in the streets. More than half of their crew died from ODing off H. More than half. That's a lot. You know, Q, that's a true statement. But the way I see it is this: there's so many different shapes and forms. Well, you can have this as an introduction as well. A master manipulator doesn't always have to use flattery. Flattery sometimes, that's the initial way to get in the door. Sometimes it's not flattery. Sometimes it's sorrow. They'll go right to step 3. They'll skip the flattery, the isolation, and go right into the ripping you down. But they don't rip you down in a way that you see. They hold you down by making you focus all the attention on them. They go straight to the the advanced master class. They don't have to use the flattery. They don't have to isolate you from anybody. They know how to make you do all steps 1 and 2 all by themselves. They go right to 3. And they go start right at 3, and they know how to work that, the 3 to 4. And they worked all of it. And they said, well, 1 and 2 is going to come along with what I do on 3. So when you devalue someone and bring them down and break their spirit using step 3, they go a whole nother direction with step 3. As I often say, and it is oftenly said, master manipulators, the upperclassmen, they know how to take the initial steps and go to a whole nother level. They'll start playing guilt off. Well, I used to get teased because I used to be fat. Now I'm not no more. I still had those memories when I was bullied at school. Or they'll start something like, well, my best friend next to me, he drowned. Oh yeah, my mom, she didn't love me. My dad wasn't around. They try the sorrow. They play on the heartstrings. And a woman's thinking she's made a breakthrough when it's not a breakthrough at all. This is a classic spider web manipulation. It's luring you into the spider web. The spider is just laying the layers of web, and you're just following him as he's backing up. And you're just like, oh my God, poor spider, come here. Don't back up. I'm not going to hurt you. The next thing you know, you're like stuck. I don't know where to go. And the spider stops moving backwards and go, gotcha, bitch. No. Now, you have to understand that you think this is all about men and women, like man doing this to a woman. Women do this more than men. Yeah, women are master manipulators. They don't even go through the flattery or the isolation. They're the master manipulators. Women start at 3. They start with the sorrow road. They come through the door with that. They don't come through the door with flattery. They come right in with the feel sorry for me. Well, I did this. My eye used to bleed because one day, he shoved me, my dad, and I hit the door. And they play on your heartstring. And as a man who's a natural protector, they feel an obligation to protect you from a threat they don't know nothing about, or it might not even exist. So instead of being a boyfriend, he becomes the bodyguard. All of it, seduction, all of these things have the traits of manipulation. Seduction is nothing but manipulation. That's all it is. Women are the masters of manipulation, the ultimate masters. That's why if you see things like, if men's like say things like "I love you" or "I care" or "you my heart" and all those things, and she said, "Oh, that's so sweet. Well, thank you so much." Then that's their reply. Run, run, because she doesn't give a shit about you. She hopes you don't get hit by a bus, but other than that, she's not really into you. So you have to make a decision at that point. Are you going to go to full course with that? Maybe she just was like, that's just the way she felt. Or do you think she would even speak like that to somebody she was even interested in? The answer is nah. But she ain't gonna tell you she don't like it, because women love compliments. But you know what they don't want or don't like? A woman like compliments. But what they don't like, yeah, what they don't like is very simple. They don't like to be ignored, made to feel invisible. That's how you really break them, is when you act like their words don't mean anything and they just don't know how to react. See, Offset and Cardi B, prime example of a master manipulator. He knows what's Cardi B's trigger points, and he hits on those trigger notes. She likes to be heard. Like, she tells him all the time, and he acts like she's crazy and don't listen. And it drives her mad. Now, that's a dangerous game, because you're dealing with a woman who becomes unstable and then she goes to an act of violence. Because before the act of violence comes, there's threats of violence to get you to hear them. So you're not falling for the manipulation no more. You're basically treating them as if they're invisible. That sometimes is a bad thing. Just like that. Done for. No matter how many times you show affection, no matter how many times you do things for people, there's often going to be times that people just don't see or don't understand or just don't get who you are as a person, what it is that you bring to the table or to the situation. And it's just textbook. At this point, it is flat out textbook manipulation. Why do women fall for drug dealers? Because they manipulate. They come through, drug dealers come through with flattery, gifts. They take step one. Women mostly take step three. They don't take the first two steps. They go straight to three and four. Men do one, two, three, and four mostly. Women go straight to three and four, which is to basically lure you into the trap by depriving you or making you feel lesser than them or bringing down your guard with sorrow, guilt. So you can call it the guilt trip. Why does it have to be a trap? Well, manipulation is not good because it doesn't come from a genuine place. That's why it's a trap. It's one time. If you really love someone, you don't manipulate it. You really have these affections with people. It's not to try to get something. See, there's an ultimate goal for the manipulator. A manipulator wants control. They're insecure about things. They're not okay with you going to the store or to a club by yourself. They feel you might leave them and they have nothing. So without you, they're insecure. The manipulator needs something from you. And it's not love. So you have to understand that these traits that you see are constantly in every human being in the world. It's not based on a gender. Each side are jockeying for their position, but when it doesn't come from a place of love, then it's just textbook manipulation. That's on her. Well, that's the thing. You have to see most women come through there and they don't really use flattery. Some do, but I'm talking about manipulators. There's always a problem. Textbook manipulator, you talk to them like, hey, what's going on? Nothing. You're like, well, you don't sound like nothing. You just said nothing like it was something. No, I just had a bad day. Had to put my car in the shop. Then I got this bill that I know I paid, but now they're saying they're going to cut this off by tomorrow, and I really need it. And I thought I paid it. Like, man, you are having a bad day. I would hate if that happened to me. But yeah, well, it was good to hear from you, though. But you seem like you got a lot going on, so I'll let you figure it out and see what you got to do to handle your business. So it don't work on me. It don't. It don't. It has zero effect on me. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. Sometimes I let it play out just to see. I'll be like, I'm bored. Let's see how far this goes. Just for the entertainment, I want to see this thing played out. Oh man, I'm gonna be talking about this on One Crack News. Continue. That's how I look at it. I want to see this thing play out. I'll be like, I'm bored. I got some time. I'm like, Lakers didn't play tonight. I don't have to do a long. I had to do a long breakdown now. So it's like, go ahead. What you got for me? Who falls in love faster, women or men? Women. Women normally fall in love way faster than men. No, I'm not mean. I just know when I'm being gamed. See, if it's genuine, you want to help somebody if it's genuine. But you have to understand that if it wasn't for you, what would they do? If you didn't know me, what would you do? I mean, I know I've dealt with so many women who came through the door manipulation. I don't usually ask people for anything. You're gonna hear that line. You know what? I'll figure it out. You don't have to help me. Oh, that's a good one. That's the taking the risk, the jumping out on the limb. That's what that line is, to jump out on the limb, to see, to get you to move, to push all the chips at the middle of the table. So make it look like it's your idea to help. That's what a master does. Well, just because you study psychology don't mean manipulation can't work on you. Because sometimes you just fall in love and you realize it's a manipulation, but you want the woman for some reason. Some goofy reason you want that woman. So you could be the smartest philosopher and still get manipulated. Then getting the other people involved in it as well to go along and believe what you're doing and not the other person. That's manipulation by extension. So you're manipulating a lot of other people by extension. Especially that normally comes with the isolation. Now you're manipulating the family to believe she doesn't want to be around them anymore because you're basically keeping her isolated away from her family. So you're manipulating them by extension. So it's textbook manipulation. Those were they use lines that are like hooks to get you on the hook, like a fisherman reeling in bait. They want to get you on that hook and see how far they can pull you in. You can fall in love with somebody in a week, depending on love. Some people fall in love at first sight. Like they just, as soon as they meet somebody, in one day they already love them, but they trying to not say it and they fighting it. But they've already fallen for this person. Mostly it's younger people though. When you older, that stuff don't happen like that often. You're more guarded. You've lived more life. That's why young people who haven't really done anything in life ain't really went anywhere. When they see somebody or never really went out in the world and met other women, the first person they fall in love with is the person from their school, the girl on the block. The and it's like I love her. That's the first thing you know because that's the only thing you really seen in life. Now, if you traveled the world and you start seeing going through experiences and seeing all these other women going, you go and access and you see the girl on your block and you're like, "What's up? Hey, you don't love me no more? I mean, we cool." It's a whole different level. So when you mature and you know something about life, you think you know everything at 22, 23, 24. You're not going to know about life until you hit almost 40. Then you're going to sit there saying, whoa, okay, we got to get things figured out here. Of course, real love is definitely there. Real love is taking care of somebody's kids that ain't yours and you treating them like your own. You even calling them son or daughter. That's real love. You don't see them as someone else's kids. You see them as yours. It's real love. Well, some people love is different from everybody else. You know, love is having a wife and their kids and their family and their grandparents all around, just all is sitting there and everybody in one house and one room, just loving on each other and just being there in the moment. Everybody, that's just to them, that's just the meaning of love, having all that family around. And to some people, love is good head on a bad night. It's just the way it is. Well, that's the thing. Most people are in love with somebody. They don't care if they can have a machete come right in the middle of their forehead. Machete be stuck in their head. They be right there with them. That's my queen. That's my baby. I be like, if my girlfriend get a machete put in her head, and they be like, we can't afford to take the machete out, and she gotta walk around machete face, uh, we ain't gonna make it. And I'll be like, look, I'm only being fair if I had a machete in my face. If I got a machete stuck in my face, I would expect you to be gone too. I'll be like, wrong the store where you gotta go, and then I'm gonna be hurt. Nothing hurt more than this machete in my face, but you do what you gotta do. Ain't no way in the world. There's no way in the world I'm gonna be going for that. I'll tell a girl on date one. Now, look, if you ever get hit with a machete right here in your face and it gets stuck there, because when you date a girl, she love the girls love these question games. What if I was in a car accident and I lost my legs and you had to take care of me? Would you? Nope. I'd be nubs, nubs. We ain't gonna make it. You need a nurse, special home care. I don't know how to do this, nubs. I gotta lift you up and lay you in the bathtub with them nubs, legs gone. You just nubbing it up. We ain't gonna make it, nubs. Oh yeah, women try to feel you out with these games. I'm bad at these games because I'm brutally honest in these games. You think I'm just telling y'all this? I say directly this to them. They be cracking up laughing like it's a joke. I be like, you think it's a joke? Until I be like, all right, Nubs. I can't do this. That's why it takes a certain matter of love. If you really love them, you're gonna be there. If you really love them, you're gonna be there. Most people say they wouldn't. If they're in love, you're gonna be there. So, like what you said about your mother and father, and how they in love like that, that's real love. I'm like shallow Hal. Shallow Hal needs a gal, baby. Women ask you those type of questions because they want to know, like, who am I attaching myself to? These are like, it's like an interview question. Even when you've been dating them already, you always constantly being interviewed. You're constantly being reviewed. How you did something. You think because she your girlfriend, sex is in the requirement. Oh, hell no. Sex is a gift. You got to do something for sex. Now, in the early days when y'all first are dating, yeah, sex just come like, woo, sex, 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 sex. Mm-mm. Now, it don't happen like that when you're like in relationship stage. Sex now is like a reward, or we had a great night, we went out, we did this and that, and now it's straight sex time. And everybody wants to tear each other apart. You've got to earn it. I don't think so. I don't think it's earned because guys know how to manipulate that situation. Guys know when they want sex, they'll clean the kitchen. They'll do something that they know to get them that sex card. She be, oh, I didn't even tell him. Hey, look at he threw out the garbage for me. He know I hate that smell in the morning when that garbage and he just did it without asking. He is so sweet. I'm gonna give him something tonight. And he know it. He know it. They'll stage it like she'll wake up and the house is smelling good and he'll be there cleaning, making sure she wakes up and see him cleaning. Oh, I ain't wake you up, did I? Got the music playing. She was, no, keep doing what you're doing. You fine. Why are you cleaning up? He was like, oh, I just got up early. I couldn't sleep. So I said, I might as well get ahead of stuff. So I just started cleaning up. So I got the kitchen clean. And I just got on a roll. Yeah. So I raked the yard, got him up in the leaves in the bag. Oh, really? Yeah, I got on a roll. So, well, I'm about tired myself. I'm probably gonna lay back down sometime tonight. Probably go in early tonight. She was like, you didn't have to do all that. I'm like, yeah, well, I might as well. Shoot. Better get it done now while I'm on a roll than just let it sit there. But you go on and rest. You know, you do a lot around here. Boom! When you start giving her that, you do a lot around here. You go on and rest. Acknowledgement of my work and what I'm doing. Oh, he's definitely getting it tonight. You gonna come home, there'll be candles lit, come to the bedroom. Man, I was so mad. I was at my crib. I'm like, I share this crib with my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like we were roommates. And he was gone out of town for his sister's wedding. And she comes over to the crib. And I was like, all right, you know, he gone. I don't normally bring her to the house where I live. We normally do hotels. She comes over to the house. Right? And I'm in there doing a YouTube video. That's how crazy it is. I was doing one of my old boxing videos on YouTube. I come out, I stop it, after I'm done. I come out the room. She done came from the store. She done bought these candles, these white candles. She got those lit. And then she done sprinkled some roses on the floor, leading to her on the couch with no clothes on. And I'm like, who finna clean up these goddamn flowers? She had the flowers broken up, laying down there. She was like, I'm thinking about who finna clean up these damn flowers. I'm like, I got this roommate. You know I told you how he is. God damn. Now she done took me all out of the mood. So it's a whole different experience. Whenever I can sleep, Jose, when you don't, believe me, when you don't work for anybody but yourself, you don't have a clock to punch, the days don't move like you think they do. Your job programs you how you sleep. When you don't have a job with any clock to punch in at a certain time, there is no time to sleep. You sleep whenever you feel like it. People are like, you sleep, it's 5 in the afternoon. It'd be 7 at night. Are you asleep? It's 7 p.m. It don't matter. I'll be up. Like right now, I think I've taken about 3 naps today. I slept for about 2-3 hours, then I got another 2-3 hours. So I'm gonna sleep for probably another 2-3 hours. Like the body knows it's gonna get its 8 hours. And my body be sitting there like a dumb bouncer, like, look, one way or another, man, we're gonna get this 8 up out of you. You owe us 8. If you gave us 5, it ain't enough. The other day you gave us 6. and then think you short it. You keep shorting this, you got to make it up. And it makes it up. Shoot, one day I slept the entire day. Nobody even knew. Like Tuesday, I slept the entire day Tuesday. Tuesday, you only probably seen my videos, but one video all day. I rolled over, hit, like, send the video out, roll back over. I slept the entire day Tuesday. No joke. When I got up on Tuesday, it was like 10 o'clock at night. I was like, whoa. I went down at 8 in the morning, it's 10 o'clock at night. I was like, how in the world did this happen? My body said, you old, bro. Today we taking it. So anyway, this has been fun. Don't forget to support One Crack News. That's the brand here. Subscribe to the page if y'all new. One Crack News is your boy Carcino for life, saying shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bust Life. Welcome to HD IITV, Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez, Armando Black TV, and we are out the door.